James knew about it for a while, but they've been trying to work it out. Like, oh, we definitely know the movie's happening. Let's try to get it into Comic-Con. None of us knew about it. So when we were working on it, and they're like, so do you want to go to Comic-Con? And we're like, A, like we have a choice. B, like anyone would ever say no. And then was anybody here? Were you guys at the panel? Was anybody here at the panel? Okay, so there's a couple of you. We were so nervous when they told us where we were going to be. Because we're like, oh, well, we haven't been to Comic-Con for 4 years, and the show's been on for 3 years. So, maybe put us in one of these, like, max occupancies of 400 people. That'll be great. It'll be fun. And they're like, no, you're ballroom 20. And we're like,
don't downplay yourself.
Oh, gosh. No, there's no way.
You guys have a huge...
I was afraid I wouldn't get in, honestly.
We were, I can't tell you guys, we were shocked. We didn't expect it at all. Even on the, they pick us up in vans and they shuttles and they'd shuttle us over from the hotels. And we're like, guys, I don't know. They put us in ballroom 20. So that was a wonderful surprise. And backstage, we're like, oh wow, this is still happening. And that's something I think all of us were really surprised at. Because 3 years we've been on the air now, and nobody's really lost fans. If anything, like people are rediscovering it or discovering it for the first time. Like those 13-year-olds are like, I just found out about this new show. And we're like,
yeah, Netflix.
We're all old people, It's like we're all like,
back on Netflix.
keep that campaign alive, right? I think it has something to do with Netflix and with USA Network.
Yeah.
So keep getting that out there.
You gotta rewatch it for the movie.
You've got to. You got to rewatch that season. Then people are tweeting pictures of, I got my DVD box set. I'm like, oh, good. DVDs are still being made, so they can still do that. So I guess that was like this huge surprise. So that helped convince the executives to say, oh, well, maybe there is still life in this fun little show.
Did we learn anything new about your character that you could tell us?
That I can tell you. That's the key phrase there, isn't it? Yes, you will learn something new about Chief. And because everybody's up in San Francisco now. So I'm in charge of a much bigger department. Sean, in this movie, takes a case on his own. So this is not an FPD sanctioned case. But I think we learned very quickly in this group that if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Which I think was a great shot, the one that they did decide to release to the first look shot, the entertainment video of all of us we're on a dock that you saw in the trailer down in the hall. So we're back at those docks. It doesn't matter if you messed with Sean, it doesn't matter if you messed with Juliet, or even with Woody, because he's there too.
I was so shocked when I saw it, but I'm like, Woody!
Not only is Woody there, I had to hire him in San Francisco as well. I was just like, how do we get everybody up here? Well, I guess we gotta hire him. And it's great because he's part of, again, the coroner staff, and this coroner hates him. Like, he is such a fool. And she's great. She's great. So, we learned a little bit about me. We might learn a little bit about... Is my family still involved?
Actually, you have a husband and child.
I did have a husband and child.
I've only seen your sister.
Don't see my sister again. Jane Lynn, she's got like an Emmy. She's a little busy. We can only fit so much into our 90 pages, but I had hoped that she would be brought back. But time and commitments couldn't allow it. Like Kurt Smith, he wanted to come back as well, but he's touring. He's in a little band called Tears for Fears, and they're on a big tour now. So no, we don't get to see my sister, but I don't know about the rest of my family.
And you got to work with Zachary Levi a little bit.
We did get to work with Zach.
You finally got him.
We finally got him. And I thought the connection was always with James and the connection with Zach was too late. And I was like, what? I swore these two big nerds. I mean, I guess I should call James a nerd. He's a nerd. That James and Zach would be the connection. But the fact that we got him this time, he was wonderful. He's crazy. Absolutely crazy in this character. It's just delightful. He's just... So, he's the one that decides to mess with us. What is he doing?
What?
Are you lurking?
No, I was actually trying to find a ride to the hotel.
Oh, now you gotta walk. It's so much easier to walk back to the hotel. Put your shades on, put your hat low, because your Corbin burns
Take
it.
that hat.
Yeah, the pineapple hat. Swap hats with him and see what happens.
That could be on the show as like Spot the Pineapple.
Spot the pineapple, and then there it is. And I don't even remember when the pineapple pops up in this episode, because obviously they had to put it in there.
We were told that we cannot possibly miss it.
Oh, I know where it is. No, you're not going to be able to miss it. No, it's just going to be so.
One or is there one?
Well, again, I'd have to kill you if I told you that. That's awkward, because I like your hat. But there's, yeah, we've got some big surprise guest stars. And yes, it is with that guest star.
So I'm gonna fangirl for a moment. You were my biggest role model growing up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So when you were like the chief, were you written that strong, or did you kind of bring in and be like, no, she's gonna be a badass?
I think probably a little bit of both. I didn't, when they cast me, obviously it's the actor that walks into the room like, oh, I like that vibe. But I was 5 months pregnant when I did the pilot, and I was only going to get bigger. They were like, let's cast you in August. And I'm like, listen. And we shot in November, and my baby was born in January, so I'm like, this is just going to keep going. So I think it was a little bit of, everybody had seen Fargo by that point. Frances McDormand as pregnant police chief, who was already there. And I wanted to make sure that she wasn't just a woman in power, she just was the chief. Which is kind of nice sometimes with a police system, a military system, is that it's rank. And there is no insubordination to rank. It's not about being a woman, it's not about being a man, but it's just are. And what came with that was me. And I think that we kind of worked this symbiotic relationship of, yeah, that's who she is.
Guys, we're gonna wrap now. Thank you so much.